Hi everyone, this is John from John Latham channel. What the heck is going on? Hey everybody, just wanted to say hi and let you know that AU Pack Mule is not dead. We are just changing the channel for a little while until we get through a couple of changes I had to make on my um, AdSense account. So I apologize for the scare. I hope I didn't make anyone go crazy there. But I'm here in Denver doing some training for a new job that I have. So wanted to say welcome to everybody. Hope you guys are doing great, and thanks for your patience. Um, yeah, Danny, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Sorry for no notice there, but I just got back and hey, Peter Griffin, what's going on? So yeah, I had to change my channel name for a brief minute until I get some corrections done with AdSense, and then once that's done, I'll get back to it. But hey, Johnny B Crazy's here. Wow, that was pretty quick. Thanks, man. Sorry for the no notice. Um, yeah, who in the heck is JL? Right, that's like DJ, right? But yeah, that's my real name. So if anybody wants to call me Uncle John or Uncle AU or anything you want, that's fine. Mackenzie L. Burns is in the house. Linda R. Samurai Girl is here. Sir LT Giles is also here. So, hey guys, I don't know about you, but could you do me a favor and give me a rating 1 through 10, what you gave episode 3? Because I really enjoyed it. And yeah, Danny, you're right. Tolkien is going to be out soon, and that's pretty cool. I just learned that the Tolkien estate didn't um, approve of this or give their blessings, if you will, which I was really surprised that they were able to release so much information about Mr. Tolkien. DJ, did you do 4.5 out of 10? Wow. So yeah, that's going to be a great movie. I think that we're going to get about Tolkien and some of the influences in his life. So that'll be really cool. But for those of you who don't know, I'm in Denver training on a new job. I go back to Seattle late tomorrow and should be ready to do some more videos over the weekend and get in touch with you guys and start cranking it out because after next week, uh, my training is over. So I'll be able to break away and do some videos. Um, LT says it was really good episode, but I can never forgive how the Night King went out. Yeah, he did not go out like a boss, did he? Hey, what's up, Bubba Husky? How's it going, my friend? Who in the heck is John Latham? Yeah, that's me, guys. Sorry for the scare. But that's my real name, and I just had to change it for temporary. But thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. So most people are giving it a pretty low rating. Even Sir LT gave it a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I put it up a little bit higher just because I know that they were going to express some of the storylines because of the 6 episodes this season, and I really didn't expect it. But what I did get was a dragon battle, which I wasn't expecting it to be nearly as good. Look at you, Linda R. 10 out of 10. Way to go. Way to go. Uh, yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty interesting dragon battle, and I loved watching them fly. Um, One of the things that I really enjoyed was the Rain of Fire, which is another dragon type movie, and the visual effects aren't nearly as good, but I really enjoyed them. So STE York, 4 out of 10. Hey, that's a pretty low um, number there. That's amazing. Are you influenced by the other people that are live streaming and commenting on the videos, or did you think that when the video ended? Because everybody that's giving it a low rating, I'm just wondering, uh, maybe you could kind of enlighten me on why. Because I do know that the end was so different than what everybody expected, and I think that's one of the things that we get involved with in YouTube. Like for example, I thought for sure we were going to get a Night Queen stuck in the crypts of Winterfell, and that's where the Night King was going, is to rescue his bride or his mother or whatever, and that's why we had the Night King or the Kings of Winter at Winterfell with the swords across their lap, is to keep the Night Queen in there. Too many people survive. DJ, that is a great point. Um, I don't think that there is any way that they could have survived. I mean, they had 3 or 4 whites on them, and every time they showed that in other scenes, those guys were dead. Um, just wanted a White Walker to fight anyone. Yeah, that is kind of weird that they didn't engage at all. I mean, even in the um, other episodes, we saw White Walkers engaging in battle from the very beginning, right? Because those were unarmored. Hey, Bobby Canelano is here. Awesome. Thanks for coming. I don't know if you can hear me okay. I'm working on a temporary mic on a temporary computer. So I'm not sure. And I'm using my laptop camera instead of bringing my regular camera. So if you guys have any audio video issues, just let me know. In the chat, as always, you guys are always there. There you go. Jeff, my friend, idiot of the day. How's it going? Great to see you, buddy. I hope you and JoJo are fine. I hope you've recovered from episode 3 from Game of Thrones the other day. That was not what I was expecting at all. So I know you weren't expecting it, but you probably enjoyed it. Would you do me a favor, Jeff and or JoJo? Give me a rating out of 10, 1 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you rated it as. Yeah, I think we did get a lot of different things than we expected. Like, for example, Melisandre. I never thought we would get Melisandre only. That was a little bit of a disappointment. And then when she lit the swords, I was excited because I'm thinking, these guys are going to have another weapon. 15 out of 10. Way to go, Jeff. See, that's a true show watcher that enjoys it for what it is and doesn't have all the anything concerned about what the books say. So I love that. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I'm just doing some training in Denver, and I hope to be back on Saturday. So we're going to leave late tomorrow and then head back to Seattle and get to enjoy the next episode, which I hope is going to be really cool because we're not going to have any more anticipation of anything White Walkery or Night King or anything. It's all going to be about Euron and Cersei and what happens there. Hopefully we'll get some Harry Strickland intrigue. And yeah, sorry, Callum, I do apologize about the name change on the channel. That'll be changed back probably within the next few weeks. As soon as I get some AdSense issues straightened out. Believe it or not, they didn't realize that I wasn't AU Pack Mule. I know that's hard to believe. There you go. Ear Touch Altinos came up with the perfect theory of the Night King coming through the crypts. We got all of the sayings. It was safe in the crypts, and the Maester Lewin saying to Theon, hey, there's tunnels. We know how to get you in and out of the Winterfell without having anybody get in trouble. And yet, it just didn't happen. And I don't think AirTouch is totally disappointed, but I definitely love that theory. It was very cool. I had wanted to at least find out what his sigil meant on his chest. What is that? Is that the actual shard that's in his chest and causing him to be the Night's King? That's pretty disappointing. But we didn't get any backstories from anybody. We just got slammed into it. The reason I was a little bit disappointed about the Dothraki swords is because they had the cavalry up front. and usually when you're doing a field battle and you're out in the field like Ramsey, you hold those guys back for a while. You let your trebuchets and your catapults and your archers, you know, pound the enemy until they come closer to you. So I was a little disappointed that they just eliminated them. But you got to remember they were using Helm's Deep and Lord of the Rings as their um, mainstay or their format for this battle. And so when you have Rohan involved and you go to Pelennor Fields, not for wrath, not for ruin, but for death. And then, Theoden clanks all the swords with his sword and they go for it. And that's exactly what we got. So they were definitely going to be dying. Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope we get a little better than the battle at Gondor, where everybody gets killed by elephants or olifants, as the Lord of the Rings people want to say. Um, yeah, I love that Lord of the Rings reference, but and that really that's what the Dothraki are to George R. R. Martin, is a nod to Rohan. A lot of people think that they were based on um, the Khans, the Genghis Khan, and all of those people, but I knew that it was based on Rohan just because of everything else that he's written. So I think it was well done. Just needed a tiny bit more light. Yeah, you don't want to hear something funny, Mackenzie? I am at a hotel and watched it on a 4K TV in my room, and it has been so much better. So if you guys get a chance, watch it on demand on a 4K TV. All of those darkness issues go totally away. It's really, really a totally different show. When I watch it at home, I couldn't believe how dark it was, and how it wasn't necessarily the darkness; it was the the bleeding of the pixels. It would seem like everything was just a gray mess, especially with the dragon battles, because those were some of the best filmed stuff. Sorry, Callum, I just missed your comment there. Um, she's been touched by the Night King. Entire plot arc centered around death. It happens. Yes. Arya eyes turning blue will be the last scene of episode 6. Now you're just scary. That I didn't think that would happen. But you could. I mean, at this point, anything could happen, right? Yeah, $15 million budget, 55 nights of filming, some amazing, talented actors, and all we get is a turd fest. That's funny. I, you know, it it had a lot of great story points as parts, especially with the Hound and Arya at the end. I thought that was pretty cool, that he was still able to save her, because I think that story's going a little bit further, especially when we get to King's Landing. Christian Oles, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, it's been a fun season. I think episode 2 was so great that we thought for sure going into episode 3 we are going to get like our pants blown off. But like I said, with Dan and Dave really condensing these episodes in the season, we're definitely going to get a condensed storyline. I think that's basically all it is. I don't think we're going to get any of this in the books. I think we'll definitely get a much more explained story. And I wish Dan and Dave all the luck in the world on their Star Wars endeavor, because I think as far as making a Marvel type movie, that they would be really good at the action stuff, kind of like what Aquaman was. But as far as the depth of the story, they just totally missed it. I mean, they missed Stannis so completely. They just totally didn't understand that character at all. Um, as far as the episode goes, obviously we've got quite a difference between 4 out of 10 and 15 out of 10. I don't think that that's very consistent. But what did you guys have any favorite scenes? Like mine was for sure the dragons fighting. Um, Jeff, what was your favorite scene? I'd really like to know. Being a show watcher and someone that doesn't know the story as far as the books go, I'd love to hear what you have to say for that because there were a lot of favorites for me. Unfortunately, none of them involved Melisandre. I thought her lighting the trench made very little difference in the outcome of the battle. All they really did is temporarily stall the whites coming into Winterfell. Um, the other thing that was a little disappointing, dragons flying with the moon. Yeah, Linda R. Dragons flying with the moon in the back. That's definitely my cup of tea as well. Yeah, Callum. Dan and Dave are going to make the Old Republic trilogy for Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy hasn't confirmed that it's when it's going to happen as far as the timing goes, but they are definitely under contract. As a matter of fact, George Lucas visited the set of the Battle of Winterfell um, while they were filming. So, and that's been documented. So, but yeah, they definitely are making it. That was announced about 9 months ago. So it's really going to be cool. They've decided not to do the um, U.S. Civil War turnaround story. So yeah, sorry, Callum, missed that comment. Pissing. The Dothraki charge, yeah, I loved it visually, but it made no sense as far as taking your one of your best uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Resources. Yeah, your best resources, which are cavalry in that situation, and just letting them go out by themselves without knowing exactly where the enemy is. That's why you have the trebuchets and the catapults. Um, hey, my friend Don the Kraken Witt is here on his cycle machine at the gym. Well, I'm glad that you're able to get out and do some exercise. Really cool. And thanks for coming by, my friend. I appreciate it. Vanessa Amicy is here also. Christian Oles, I was shaken the first 10 minutes. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought seeing Sam super scared. Sam probably could have died 6 times in this episode. So could have Jamie and Brienne. They were all in danger. Even Arya could have died a million times. The Hound, he was like a baby in the corner when they really started coming over the wall. But I was getting back to the Winterfell wall. That's the only part that was kind of disconcerting. As you know, in the books, Winterfell has an 80-foot wall, and then on the outside there's a 100-foot wall, and then there's a moat in between. So this really didn't represent that at all. But I did. I mean, I did. Like the siege part. It's just that without ladders or ropes or anything, they were just able to crawl on each other's back all the way up to the top like a bunch of ants. And I think the army of ants is a good way to explain it when you're talking about whites, right? Because they have no fear, they have no, and they have anything like that. Yeah, Johnny Be Crazy, thank you for saying that. 27 watching, only 12 likes. You guys, I appreciate you hitting the like button. That would be really appreciated. Yeah, good thing. And Cheeky as Heart is here. Wow. Um, who doesn't butcher Star Wars these days? Yeah, it seems like everybody's taking a shot at Star Wars, even the people that don't even like it. So I love Star Wars. I think most of the last two movies were good, but I think 9 will be obviously better. Thank you, Danny McKay. I appreciate you doing that for me. Really appreciate it. Linda R puts ants in the comments. That's great. So cute. So cute. Yeah, it's been a little challenging listening to a lot of the YouTubers that I totally love and I still cherish. but it just seems like because we are so invested in our theories that we're not able to just sit back and enjoy the creation that Dan and Dave have made. Obviously, we're a little uh, biased, right? Joe Swag is here also. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate that. So nobody's got another favorite scene that they really like. Um, like I said, I really like the dragons. Rain of Fire is another dragon movie that I really liked, and that had a lot of the same moonlight behind the dragon with the dragon flying. And when you have all three dragons, there's nothing you can beat in that situation. I didn't think that um, the dragon flame would have been able to be shot out that far when you're flying full speed, but hey, um, yeah, I really like Rain of Fire. I mean, Christian Bale's in it, so um, not too bad. Um, as far as the ending goes, I really thought it was weird. Um, yeah, she definitely was screaming. Linda R. She says, "Believe it or not, I love Brienne screaming." Why wouldn't you? Because that's a real emotional thing that she's now a knight, so she's got this extra responsibility on her back. Jorah's death was so intense that Drogon came and laid next to Dany and mourned with her. So that was pretty cool. I did think it was interesting that of all the people that could have died, they picked both Jorah, and um, Lyanna. Lyanna's death scene was probably the best of them all. Jorah died, the way he should have died 2 seasons ago, but that's another story. Um, as far as the Arya though, at the end when Melisandre talks to her, because we were talking about Melisandre's participation in this episode, when she touches the trench and causes that to catch fire, I thought that was kind of silly because all they had to do was take the bucket of a flame, the torch that they had, and bring it to them. I know they had tried several times with a torch in each hand, but Sierra Conover, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I love the Unsullied protecting the retreat. That was the best militarily. That was one of the best scenes because they defended, they got down into their stance, and then they let everybody go by, and the back row went, and then they completely closed, and it was just that was militarily that was the best part of the whole fight. I really thought they were going to go for it with the trebuchets and the catapults because I love that part of um, medieval battles. And if you've ever seen one in action, they're really epic because they're made out of the most basic materials, rocks and sticks. So, um, Smoky Bear LaFleur. I don't know who you are, but that is a cool name. I love that. I enjoyed the episode. Plus, John was saved by someone in all of his fights except Hardhome. Right. He definitely got some help. So not not your average JoJo. Hello, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I hope that I haven't disappointed you too much not being there for your evening meal time and watching me while you're cooking. So I hope this makes up for a little bit. I'll be back in Seattle on Friday night, so start Saturday making some videos for you. And thank you for all the videos that you and Jeff do as well. Um, bring me a lot of entertainment. So thank you. Um, yeah, I love that scene with the Unsullied. One of the best parts of the whole episode. Um, Probably for me, second um, to the dragon fighting. Yes, they only had one rock per trebuchet. Bubba Husky says those were one shot disposable trebuchets. Yeah, it's hard to believe that they would just shoot him one time. If nothing else, they would have after everybody came back to Winterfell and been protected. they would have reloaded for sure. Um, four more of you. I don't know what that means, Linda. Everyone hit that like and oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Linda R says, hit the like button for me if you would. I appreciate it. I'm not sure who gave me the thumbs down, but I I usually never get thumbs down, so probably because I did it last minute. Um, I hope that's why, anyways. Um, they didn't keep going, but when you got 100,000 coming for you, you might stop them. Yeah, I don't think that nobody was going to stop that army as far as the the Night King's army. Those guys were overwhelming, and they definitely had enough people to kill all of Winterfell, no problem. And they would have done it if they would have just given them another hour or so. They probably would have done it. A couple more blasts from Viserion would have done it. I'm not sure why he didn't do that at least once more, because he clearly cleared out a way for him and all the other White Walkers to get through Winterfell. Yeah, Sierra, I do too. I think it will. I don't have any doubt that George will make this a different story. Um, Not only that, but I think when we get the Long Night, we're going to find the truth about the Night's King and the Long Night and that sort of thing. So pretty cool. Yeah, thanks, Linda R. I see what you mean now. You got ice cream and lollipops and candy and candy bars. That's very cool. All for just hitting the like button, and it's working because now we have 21 likes and 24 watching. So that's awesome. And someone didn't like it, so that's no problem. Um, like I said, I'm just in my hotel room. Just finished dinner. Got my last day of training in Denver tomorrow, and then we'll be heading home to Seattle. We'll be ready to go. I don't know what everybody else is expecting for four, but other than seriously not having a baby, I don't really have too much expectations. Obviously, we're going to get a big trip. So we've got a question from AirTouch Altonos, who's got to be the best artist in the world. Why didn't you record some reaction videos while watching the episode? This is the last season, you know. Well, if I did a reaction video, I like yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do one on Sunday night. I've never done one before. So I'm just our friend David from Brook Black Man 94, also known as Fandom D Saint, is the reaction king. So he's definitely the reaction guy. I will try. I'll tell you what. I will try on Sunday night to get it done. Um, yeah, I'll definitely do that for you. I'm not sure how it's going to come out because I've never done one before. Um, Even on a trailer, I haven't done one. So yeah, that'll be cool. Do one. It's entertaining. Well, when you do them, it's entertaining. When I do them, it's kind of I'm not too convinced. But if you guys haven't seen AirTouch Altonos, that one was pretty cool. He had Drogon coming in behind him, giving him the heavy neck breathing. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, you're a great artist, AirTouch. There's just no doubt about it. Um, as far as the episode goes, for episode four, my my only hope is that they actually are able to maintain some sort of momentum now that they've defeated the Night King and are able to stay together. Um, and I hope that whole thing with Danny and John do not create any more of a rift between those two. But I think we will see some of that coming up. Um, I don't think their relationship is going to get any worse, especially after Danny saved John, and proved that could have been an easy kill for Danny just to let the Night King killed Jon. That would have been no problem. Yeah, I think your reaction good was really cool. uh, definitely. So if uh, JoJo's here, would you mind telling me what you rated this episode at? Because I don't think I've seen your rating at 1 out of 10, if you don't mind. I didn't see that before, but you said you haven't eaten in weeks, so I just scrolled back to that. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, so it's good to see you too. Um, has anybody been disappointed with the actual production value? I mean, I think everybody would think that this would have been probably one of I guess besides the darkness, that was true. I forgot about that. Um, but militarily wise, like I said, other than the Dothraki running out and wasting that resource, I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was a really good move for them to do that, especially with the fact that Jorah was the one that was leading them. Yeah, Danny, I've heard that before about the time jump. That's a really good point. Because we were supposed to get a time jump between book 4 and book 5, moving around doesn't seem to be an issue for Dan and Dave to write. Um, so I don't think we're going to get a time jump at all, other than the fact that they're going to do jump cuts in regards to cleanup at Winterfell before they leave. I'm interested to see who is. Yeah, Jojo, you gave it a 10. I thought so. Yeah. No, that's okay. It's probably better that you didn't read the books in this case because most of the book readers that I know have been rating this like below 5 out of 10. So for sure. Um, but as far as the time jump, I don't think we're going to get it. I think what's happening is because we're seeing this in Dan and Dave time, it's just expediting every storyline as fast as possible. So all of the nods we get for the Night King and who he is and who were the White Walkers really the Craster's kids and all of that story, the back line, I don't think we're going to get. We're just going to have to assume that that's true, and all of our theories are that way. Joe Swag says they should do a cleanup montage at Winterfell, like in Revenge of the Nerds. That was a good one. Yeah. Well, I hope it's not like the Sam at the Citadel scene, because that would definitely be gross. But well, Johnny, thanks for coming by. You're awesome, man. You're probably doing another live stream at midnight, so I'll probably have to catch you then. Thank you so much for coming by. You're you're great. I really appreciate you coming by. Period. This was totally unexpected. So get more thumbs up for John. Well, I can't believe 30 people are watching. That's amazing. And we've got 26 thumbs up or thumbs down. So I'm really happy with that. But thank you, Mackenzie. I really appreciate it. You guys have been doing a great job, by the way, on your reviews, and really enjoyed them. So I'm glad that you've kept up with the positivity, and I really am glad that we're at least getting some, season 8 material. So that's a great point, Sierra. I really appreciate you saying that. This is a different story, and we have to enjoy it for what it is because we're not going to get the book story for, in my opinion, another year or so. We'll have both books out, but yeah, I expect one this summer and one in January, and I've probably been saying that for 5 years. So yeah, but now that the season will be over soon. I would definitely say the summertime we'll get one book. Um, Linda R's got the candy. She's got the white van with the candy, free candy on the side, and she's down by the river. So make sure you go by and get some candy from Linda R. and hit that like button. That would be awesome. Like an alternate timeline, I don't think they're going to make it that complicated. I mean, based on what we've seen this year, with one and two being a little bit on the slower side, and then three being what it was. Um, yeah, I would say we're not going to get any kind of maybe a sped up story, but we're not going to get anything complicated. Nothing like Avengers, and I'm not going to spoil that one, but that one was 3 hours of mind numbing story. I'll tell you. Chica's heart. What's your favorite kind of candy? Yeah, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you letting everyone know about AirTouch's Twitter handle. That'll link you to his video. I see Spots is here. Very cool. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Don the Kraken Wit was here earlier, so either you're him or he's you, or you guys are never in the same room at the same time. I'm not sure. You like all the candy, huh, Cheekiest? Oh man, you would have loved our training room. Uh, I think they raided an entire vending machine and just put it on the table for everybody to eat while we're in training, because they had literally every kind of candy, every kind of chip, every kind of drink you could possibly want, um, and it was just amazing. Yeah, I see. I'm glad that you're still here because I think we started hanging out in live streams uh, 7 or 8 years ago, and it's been a lot of fun. So, um, did you give me your rating on on this last episode? 1 out of 10, if you don't mind, and I'd love to hear what you have as far as a favorite scene. That would be fun. Susan Dunkel's here. Thank you for coming by. That is awesome. I really appreciate you coming by. I didn't expect really that many people to come by. I just wanted to do a live stream before my training was over in Denver and heading back to Seattle and tomorrow night. So yeah, this is really cool. We're just talking a little bit about episode 3. Um, didn't have any real time to prepare anything, but I wanted to let you know that my channel name has just changed temporarily until I get my AdSense figured out with Google, and then I'll change it back so I don't confuse everybody. But yeah, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Bubba Husky. I'm not training for Frito Lay, but man, I tell you what, they had more chips, more M&Ms and Snickers and almond joys. It was just like, are we like in Willy Wonka world or what's going on? But the trainer just said that's just one of the things that I do to get a better rating, and obviously it works because everybody was happy. Um, we had 15 students and then 3 executives in the class, and it was totally full. Everybody was really happy. Um, and the trainer did an excellent job. I've never been to a training like this in my life, and I've been to trainings all over the world. So, um, all over the world. What do I talk about? All over the country. So, I would definitely have rated this an A just because of the way that the um, material's been presented. It's just fun. How do you keep your class alert? Stuff for them full of sugar. Well, you know what? If I don't know if they were very alert, but they definitely participated. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I got my shirt at Target about 3 weeks ago. When I went to Emerald City Comic Con and saw Gwendolyn Christie there. One of the vendors had this shirt on, and I asked her. I said, "Where did you get your shirt?" She goes, "Target in the men's department." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to go check that out." So I went there, and they still had one. So um, yeah, I usually try to find them in like one of the t-shirt stores in the mall, but they haven't had them. So um, I think it was. Who was it that said something about not enough deaths? Um, was it STE York? Um, um, said there wasn't enough deaths. If you could tell me who in the chat, if you would, who would you, who did you really think was going to die? Because personally, I thought everyone was on the chopping block. I mean, literally, I thought we would lose half. Like the Hound, I thought would be gone. Um, Podrick would have been gone exactly. Um, I even, I thought for sure we were going to lose Grey Worm. I thought he was like Mr. Redshirt. Exactly, Joe Swag. That's what I was thinking too. Um, no doubt about it. We should have lost at least three or four other main characters. Uh, I don't think they could have forecasted it to us any better, um, for sure. Smoky Bear LaFleur. You thought Sansa was going to go? People hate Sansa too much for that to happen. I don't think we're going to lose Sansa at all ever. All the way through the end of the story. As much as you may or may not like her, I think she's got plot armor for sure. Yeah, Tormund. He was another one. He could have died so many times. That's not even funny. And he wasn't. He was like in the front line, and he still lived. And everybody else died. Yeah, Linda, I think you're right. Sansa, I don't think has a chance of dying. Um, you're right next to a crypt, and you don't get taken out by a white, even of your own house. So, uh, exactly. Vanessa said it when Melisandre told Grey Worm Valar Morghulis, and he said Valar Dohaeris. That was like instant death stamp, right? Like no doubt about it. I thought we were going to lose Bran. Did you really, Jojo? That's interesting. Um, I'm really wondering what he's going to be doing the rest of the season because now that the Night King's gone, what's his purpose, right? Other than to continue, the memories from the werewoods. But yeah, that's an interesting. I never thought Bran was going to die, just because I think he has the foresight. That's why he gave Arya the dagger to begin with, because he doesn't tell people anything, anything of use. Joe Swag says uh, Sansa is the only one that's not going to Winter or to King's Landing for sure. So yeah, how else can she die? Yeah, she's going to get a splinter on one of her hands from putting her leaning against the post. I think she'll be crying though when she finds out that Theon died. That would be an interesting scene for next week. Sansa is likely to stay unless Winterfell is in ruin. Well, definitely Winterfell was probably going to be in more ruin than when the Boltons took over Winterfell. So I think there's definitely going to be rebuilding. Daenerys is queen. I think it's pretty much in the bag right now. Um, Davos said it. How would you like to have her as the queen and John as the king? Um, so if Davos said it, it's got to come true. We will lose more peeps. Yeah, I think Kyburn is going to come up with something sneaky, but that's just my guess. I don't think that Dan and Dave have to do very much to make it um, an epic battle show. Um, yeah, Danny McKay, I couldn't agree with you more. Alfie Allen deserves all the credit in the world. So does um, what's Leanna's name? I know her last name is Ramsey. Is it Bella Ramsey? She did an excellent job. I know Felicia doesn't like her from Citadel of Trivia, and but I personally I think she's done a great job. She's really come across as a great character, and I've enjoyed it. So no complaints. Yeah, Smokey Bear LaFleur. Sansa definitely lied, and she's learned about that. And I think right now she wants to make Winterfell and the North, all of the North, her own kingdom or queendom, if you will. And with Brienne as her Night Queen or our King's Guard, um, I think that's going to continue. Joe Swag says Bran needs to attach himself to a tree, and I think that's what he's been doing. To be honest with you, is he's been uh, tapping into the memories of all of the werewoods, especially the one at Winterfell. Yeah, but why? I mean, very Cheeky's heart says Danny will burn Varys, and I don't disagree. I just don't know why he. What is he going to do that's going to be a betrayal of Danny? Because with Danny's help, they've been able to conquer so far, and it was his idea to bring Tyrion to her. So I'm not sure why that would happen. Travis Mitchell's here. How's it going, everyone? How's it going with you, man? I appreciate you being here. Um, Linda R says, I don't think Danny will be the queen. I'm not sure what do you think will not have a king or a queen, and they'll just destroy King's Landing with wildfire? That could be something that happens. We really haven't talked about that because there's still plenty of wildfire stashed in King's Landing. Yeah, Vanessa, I totally agree with the Theon. He did a great job in this episode as always. I'm not sure how you explain after having all your parts cut off that you're able to do all the physical stuff that he did. With his fingers and toes and all that stuff. But he did do a great job. I thought it was funny that we made such a big deal over the hand cover of the Archer that was in the prequel or the trailer from the beginning, and turns out to be just another Archer in the um, Winterfell Protection Army. So that was pretty cool. We got to see that. Smoky Bear the Flare. I think that's hilarious. You want Robin to throw Sansa out the moon door, make the bad woman fly. I don't think we're going to see Robin ever again. I think Robin's gone the way of the people from Dorne, the people from the Reach, the people from the Westler lands, the Crown lands. I think everybody's gone. Even the Riverlands. I don't think we're going to see any more Tullys. Um, Yeah, I agree, Vanessa. I think Theon in the book will be the one that protects Bran. Carrie, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, he definitely deserves more than what he's been getting, and the SAG award would be really cool. But yeah, if he can get a supporting actor, nominee. That would be awesome. No, Joe Swag. I think everybody. Excuse me. I don't think anybody uh, dislikes her as much as Smokey Bear does. That's funny. But yeah, yeah. I don't hate her at all. I think she's a character that we've had to endure in the beginning because she is totally opposite of Arya, who we fell in love with. So obviously, when you have a character like that, that's the opposite of someone you love, you tend to do that, to dislike them. And the fact that she caused Lady to die was another reason why a lot of people didn't like her. But if she would have just told the truth, we might have had a different story. But yeah, I think Sans is fine. Uh, I think I think the story of Sophie Turner being Sansa is even a better story than Sansa herself. To be honest with you, the fact that she got the role because at least this is the way she feels, is that she had more Instagram followers and more social media followers, and that seemed to have helped her get the role. But the actress that they were going to choose um, didn't have as many followers. So I thought that was an interesting confession that Sophie made. And congratulations to Sophie Turner getting married in Las Vegas of all places. That is such a weird thing. I hope that wasn't just a one armed bandit kind of a emotional thing, and that it actually happened in a good way. But best of luck, Sophie Turner. Do we have to call her Sophie Jonas now? Is that is that how that works? Airy Full Official, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Thanks again for all the likes. I really appreciate you smashing that like button. 34 likes and 27 watching. Can't beat that. That is awesome. You're from Bangladesh. Wow, I don't think I've ever had anybody from Bangladesh in on my live stream. So welcome and thanks for being here. And what did you rate Game of Thrones season 8, episode 3, 1 out of 10, if you don't mind me asking? OTDA is here. Awesome. Thanks for coming here, and thanks for being in the chat as always. You're such a great moderator for so many people, and I've known you. It seems like forever. Got a chance to finally, got the chance to meet you in person. Thanks to Don the Kraken Wit, and yeah, that's awesome. Well, just to let you know, David, that's only going to be John Latham on the channel for a little while until I get my AdSense figured out. I'm not sure why they're asking me to do this, but that's only going to be for a little bit. Sorry to confuse you if I did in the chat from other live streams, because I've been in some other streams and people are like, who in the hell is John Latham? But that's me. That's my real name. So you could call me John, as I do often. Yeah, I'm so sorry in the imagination realm. Everybody knows me as AU, and they think that's either my real name or I'm from Australia. Neither of those are true, so thanks for bearing with me. Julie Ann 089 is here. Wow, thanks for coming. I again, sorry to confuse you, Julianne. I didn't mean to do that. That's only going to be there for a little while, so. We definitely are going to be changing that back. There, you got to have the Golden Pack Mule doing these. So I appreciate you guys coming by, and also Jake Cruz is here. Very cool. Thanks for coming by. See, that is interesting, Travis, because a lot of people I think are just the opposite. You gave it a 6 out of 10, and then you rewatched it a couple times. Can I ask Travis, did you watch it in 4K at all? Or did you watch it in 1080? Yeah, cheekiest heart. I think everybody did that. Who in the hell is this John Latham guy? Let's get that AU back, right? Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, if you could do me a favor and let me know Travis, if you got a chance to see it in 4K, because I think watching it in 4K is totally cool. Tolkis 420's here. Awesome. Thanks for coming by. You are got to be pretty excited about this Tolkien movie coming up. I saw article where they were talking about the Tolkien estate not approving or not endorsing the movie, and it's probably because they didn't get paid, is what I'm guessing. Because most of this stuff you would have a lot of rights to pay for. But I don't know if you let me know if you're excited about the new Tolkien movie. 10 for cinematography, 2 for flow and continuity. It was a little weird, wasn't it? You had that really fast or really slow start, really fast middle, and then super slow ending, which is cool. I mean, that's just the way they are. And Raman Djawadi did an excellent job in the music. I have to say, that's never been below a 10 for me. Can't go over a 10. Yeah, it's definitely got to be. For me, it was really good. I would say 8.5 or 9. Um, Once I watched it on a regular 4K TV, it's been excellent. So, yeah, Tolkien. I think after we get into the Tolkien movie, and then we roll into the Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings prequel, I think that's just going to be fantastic. Well, I think the Imagination Realm, the Tolkien movie is going to be about his real life, which is, obviously a drama, and it's more of a romantic movie. Even though it's going to have some of him being in World War One, but I think you're going to be able to really enjoy this movie, even if you don't ever know anything about any of Tolkien's books or any of the movies. You will enjoy it just because of his dedication to his wife. I think that's one of the greatest stories. We have so many people marrying, divorcing, and having that relationship where they don't stay together and they're not in love forever. Whereas I think Edith and Ronnie, as they call him, Mr. Tolkien, were so in love they literally were not separable. So I think it's really cool. Yeah, I agree, Jake. There's no doubt about the Night King dying was the weakest part of the episode, probably the weakest part of the entire um, story as far as the television show, because we had built up the Night King so much, even though literally in 5 books he's never mentioned. Um, who knows if George will even put him in that? So that's awesome. The Imagination Realm. I'm really glad that you'll be able to watch this totally from the beginning, because I think this is a great way to show. Um, oh my goodness, Sandra James is here. Yeah, the Imagination Realm. I'm glad that you're going to be able to watch it as someone who's never read the books, because it'll be a true romantic story that'll be awesome. I think you'll like it. Sandra James, welcome from Lake Tahoe, probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. So thanks for being here, and I hope everything's really well where you're at. Can you do me a favor and tell me out of 1 to 10, what you rated this episode 3 out of? I'd love to hear what you have to say. As far as the hand of the Night King dying at the hand of Arya, Travis, I definitely can understand why you would have a problem with that, especially with the White Walkers that are all stacked behind him in his defense. I mean, you have literally a row of whites all the way around the Godswood, and then you have all of these White Walkers behind the Night King. and then Arya flies out of the middle of the air and stabs him. Um, Definitely um, an interesting way that they chose to do it. But as far as cinematically, I think it was it was a great show. Yeah, I think Bran giving her the dagger was probably a very practical thing, but looking back at it, maybe he did have um, Bran knew that that was going to be used to kill the Night King. You would think that he would, it would take more than just the dagger of Valyrian steel, but the way Dan and Dave explained it, well, actually, I think it was just um, Dave that Dave Benioff said um, that it had to be in the same place as the obsidian was stabbed in his heart. I'm not sure that I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it. Well, thank you, Sandra James, for the 9.85. That's a super high rating for a Game of Thrones episode. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I hope we get more of high ratings for the next 3 episodes. It's hard to believe there's only 3 more episodes, even though they are over an hour, but still, um, not quite sure why we couldn't go to 10 seasons, 10 episodes per season. It just seems so practical and so worthy, in my opinion. Yeah, it was interesting that they held back the White Walkers, but I guess there was no risk for the White Walkers to engage. Um, but they did engage at Hardhome. I'm not quite sure why they did it that way, but uh, you know, because there were so many whites there, it was just crazy. Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat. I'm trying to read your great comments. Sandra James, I agree. Arya has always been a badass from very the first episode. With the Bran and the archery scene, she definitely was not messing around. Yeah, Travis Mitchell. I always give Ramin Djawadi the best rating on music. He's done great in the Strain, Westworld. I just love all of his work. So yeah. Wow. Well, the imagination realm. I appreciate that very much, more than you can imagine. So thank you. I'm glad that you're here. And I hope that we'll be able to produce some more videos instead of just doing live streams once I get back into Seattle. Sandra James says absolutely brand new. It in the dagger was even in the manuals at the Citadel, which is pretty interesting because you would think if that was the case, one of the maesters would have clued in whoever owned the dagger. Um, Especially the king, because that's where it was originally in the armory, and that's how Joffrey got a hold of it. So yeah, very cool perspective. Bran was just buying time so Arya could get in place. Yeah, well, we definitely knew that Arya couldn't kill him on his dragon, so he had to get closer. Um, the Imagination Realm. Danny McKay says the Imagination Realm. I would recommend reading Lord of the Rings for sure. I still read Return of the King once a year at least. I've actually got that on one of my audio loops. So yeah, anything Tolkien is great. If you like happy, funny stories, obviously The Hobbit is going to be the best. If you like really dark stories where things happen and they're pretty dark. The Children of Hurin is probably one of the best dark stories that has ever been made. I just love that. That's from the Silmarillion, which is actually finished by Christopher Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien's son, and I really enjoy it. Highly recommend it. It can be read without knowing any of the other stories as well. Well, you've got to remember, Joe Swag says, before Hardhome, they felt invincible. Men forgot that what their weakness was. The first White Walker John killed at Hardhome looked shocked as he didn't shatter John's blade. Yeah, you've got to remember when they encountered Raymar in the very first episode, um, actually in the prequel of the books, um, he didn't have a he didn't have any kind of answer for their speed and their technique, and they didn't even have any real armor on at the time, so they weren't expecting any of that. And Carrie says, think maybe no other White Walker fights, so Arya and the Night King stood out more. Yeah, I think that definitely had a big factor that all of the guys were just waiting for Winterfell to fall and follow the Night King in, and that's what they did. Um, I agree. Um, yeah, Linda, I totally agree with that. Jawadi's music is fantastic. So, do you think Travis Michael says? Do you think they would have gone more into the history and motivation of the Night King if they weren't for the prequel coming up? No, I think they were going on the express lane on this season, this entire season. They weren't really prepared to do any more backstory. They weren't prepared to do any more explanation. They weren't bringing back any characters like Lady Stoneheart or anything that was in the books that, or um, since they did the song, this Jenny song, I thought for sure we'd get the Ghost of High Heart to come in and kind of give an explanation. Uh, Somebody that would survive. Hey, it's Fandom D Saint. Yeah, Travis, I definitely think this is going to be an express lane all the way through to the end. Um, Thanks for coming, David. Appreciate it. Fandom D Saint, the coolest guy in the world. I appreciate it. We were talking about doing reaction videos. AirTouch challenged me to do an episode with a reaction, and I have to take him up on it because I've never done one. So you're the reaction guy, so I might have to ask you for some hints on that. Mm. A lot of people say that you get altitude sickness here in Denver because it's the Mile High City, but I've had no issues. I'm not sure why I'm so stuffy this evening, but I've not been sick or affected by any way, shape, or form. Must be all that sugar I've been eating during the day, huh? Sasek, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for coming by. I'm so glad that you came, and I hope you have a good evening. And we'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, David, thanks. I think I will. I'm gonna definitely take AirTouch's reaction video. I don't know if you saw his when he did it with Drogon, coming up and sitting, putting his head on AirTouch's shoulder and breathing down his neck. That was kind of funny. Yeah, you would think with the quick video we got of Bran explaining John's parentage that we would get something like that to give us some little tidbit of information. You live at 6,250 feet. That's pretty high. When I go to Mount Rainier, the base camp is about 6,000 feet. So I totally understand. It's pretty thin. Matter of fact, I made all of us when we get the rental car, we go to the training center. I made us park as far away as possible so we could get some some of the sun here in Denver because we just don't get out very much. So I make us walk as far as possible. Yeah, that is kind of strange. Travis Michael brings up a great point. What I liked about episode two was that they gave us a feel that everybody was going to die, and then at the end nobody dies. So rewatching episode two is going to be harder. But the good thing is, I always rewatch the episodes two or three times during the week with the closed caption on and that sort of thing, just to give it a different feel. And so by the time the next episode comes around, I usually don't go back and watch one, two, and three like I will this week, just to catch up. But that is a great point. I didn't even think about that. Carrie has a great question here. Let me read that. Didn't think D&D ever had a good grasp of White Walkers, so not sure how. Excuse me, how to or interested in the storyline. Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier with Stannis. They really um, didn't do that well, and they obviously didn't do Dorne very well in regards to the book part of the story. But even as a show watcher, I think most people would agree, and I know Jeff and JoJo would probably agree that the Dorne part, other than the pretty girls, you really didn't get a whole lot. So yeah, that's really cool, Sandra. That's a great place. I wish I could visit that place more often, but Lake Tahoe is just amazing. Yeah, that was one of the really weird things. A lot of the people that are here doing the training are at the hotel, and they were drinking in the lobby because they have free alcohol all the time. But yeah, it was crazy that they were just going at it. And then I'm like, how do you do it the next morning? I would not be able to do that. I'm such a teetotaler. I don't drink anyway. So unless there's mead at a Renaissance fair, I'm kind of not interested. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, Peter Griffin. I'm sure that I would, but I don't. So yeah, yeah. I thought for sure that we'd get like a Podrick or um, Travis. I couldn't agree with you more. We, other than, let's see, we got Mel, we got Jorah, we got Lyanna. Um, there really wasn't enough of a sacrifice when, especially when we hear a lot of the actors and actresses talk about um, season 8 and everybody's going to be crying, needing tissues. I never felt any sadness at all in this episode, even for Leanna, because I was like, if you're going to go out, you're going to go out like a badass. That's the way to do it. Taking down a giant, and a white giant at that. That's just the way to go. I didn't have any problem. Uh, Phantom D Sane, have you heard from Felicia yet? I'm wondering if she's going to do a video just laughing about the fact that Leanna Mormont died. I'm not sure. Tulkas 420 says, "Who's gonna tell Sansa about John?" Uh, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter. Do you? She's so pissed at Danny. I don't think her knowing about John is gonna make it any better. Wow, Danny, that's quite a change in temperature. We've been experiencing almost freezing here, except for today here in Denver, and it's been really nice. So sorry you're having to endure that low temperatures there. Not quite sure what happened to my chat here. I'm way behind. There we go. Okay. Mara Jade is here. I didn't see you come in. Thank you for being here. Mara Jade Starkwalker. Oh, so cool. Thanks for being here. So did you probably already said this a million times, Mara Jade, but if you would let me know what you rate this episode as, 1 through 10, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. So I got 29 people watching and 41 likes with 1 dislike. That is awesome. Thank you, folks. I really do appreciate it. Really cool. That's really nice. Mara Jade, you're never late. You're a wizard. You're always on time. But I do want to get your rating. So let me know in the chat what you think. 1 out of 10, um, if you don't mind. Because of the candy, yes. It's definitely the candy, Linda. The candy helps. John will tell Sansa before he leaves for King's Landing. He will not come back to Winterfell, and he knows it. Wow. Not come. John won't come back to Winterfell. That's pretty cool, Joe Swag. I never thought of that because he won't have a purpose, right? He'll be able to go to either Dragonstone or King's Landing. Whoever disliked is getting a Tolka stomp. I love that. Yeah, really, that's no problem. One dislike on a live stream that has the last minute showing up under a weird name that nobody knows. That's no problem at all. I'll take that any day. Yeah, the imagination realm. You were asked that question as in die. I don't think he meant John not coming back to Winterfell as in dying, but that he's going to be staying in the South because he did say when he left the Wall that he wanted to go somewhere where it's warm. Yeah, I agree, Travis. We have a lot to be thankful for, considering Dave and Dan had no books, and George didn't write an episode a year for the last four literally 4 years. So there's a lot of resources that they don't have, but they did the best they could. I think the problem is that we always look at it from our Game of Thrones goggles, where we think it should go this way or we think it should go that way, and as show watchers, we see little things that we don't want. Linda, I take it Ponderosa High is near Lake Tahoe. Oh, nice, very cool. Yeah, I agree. I think they'll end up in the same place, but we've gone um, so many different different zigzags from the show. I don't think that the books are going to be anything. The last 2 books are going to be anything like we've seen the last 2 seasons, and including episode or season 8. Placerville. I love the name Placerville because that's obviously where they found a lot of gold, um, and you know how much I love prospecting. So very cool. That's really neat, Linda. I didn't know that about you, so I love that. Um, yeah, I think this has been a lot of fun. I don't know how long this live stream's been actually going for 79 minutes. I only came on here to jump on for 20 minutes, let you guys know that I'm not, I haven't gone away. I haven't killed AU Pack Mule. We're just going to change the channel around, talk a little bit about Game of Thrones, and I love you guys for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for participating in the chat. And thanks for all the mods helping me out with giving out the candy. Um, That's really cool. I hope you guys have a great night. Maybe I'll be able to catch you on another live 20 minutes, you lying to yourself. Yeah. You're absolutely right, David. I don't think I've done a 20-minute live stream ever, but I thought, yeah. That is funny, 20 minutes. Yeah, I can't even say my name in 20 minutes, right? I appreciate it, cheekiest heart. Thank you for everybody that's been here. Sandra James, I don't know that you've been here before, but I appreciate you coming in. Danny McKay, first guy here. You're awesome. I can't believe you're still here. That's awesome. Mara Jade Starkwalker, glad you're here, as well as Icy Spots. 12 consecutive asterisks. I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but Felicia Be Happy's here. Awesome. Thank you for coming in. Thank you again for all the likes. You guys have a great night, and hopefully I'll be seeing you soon.